Hey everybody, this is Life Advisor Kent with lifeadvisorservices.com. This is another part in our video series that we're offering, and it's kind of directly related to men. So we're calling it LAS for Men, Life Advisory Services for Men. If you watch some of the earlier videos, you can kind of be aware of what we're kind of discussing, some of the issues that kind of men have in communicating with women. But it can really kind of be applied across to any situation. And in this series, we're going to talk about how rejection sucks, but how to handle it and kind of how to move forward from there if you do get rejected. And it could, like I say, could be something where maybe you're asking somebody out. It could even be just a job interview or just maybe a coworker or something. Somewhere where you had the opportunity to kind of make an offer, put it out there, and somebody kind of denied it for a reason. So hopefully you enjoy the videos. Watch the other videos. Most of this is all pertaining to CBT, which we have some more in-depth videos on. Please subscribe. Hit the like button below. That helps us out. If you have any comments or questions, put them in. All of our information to like our website, and if you ever want to get a hold of us directly, that's going to be available as well in the About section. So here we go. Rejection. It sucks. How do you handle it? Well, taking control when you have no control. Most time when you get rejected, it's out of your control because you made an offer to somebody and they're saying no. And the hardest part is not to blame yourself or feel you caused the rejection. You got to remember, there could be a million different reasons why somebody says no to you. So you got to stop that toxic thinking immediately. So you got to kind of prepare yourself. We talked about in our other videos, visualize a situation where you've asked somebody out before and you have been rejected. Or even if you have never asked somebody out or you've never been in a situation because you could never build up the nerve, kind of visualize that scenario, but make it a positive one. You need to stop that toxic thinking. And those toxic thoughts, what are some of them? I know personally for me, when I was in that situation where, I'm offering somebody something, it doesn't matter if it was in a sales thing or job interview or asking somebody out. A lot of times afterwards, I'd overgeneralize this. Like, well, this always happens to me. Like, because of this one situation, it's always going to keep happening. No, every situation is a special situation, and there's always a reason to why it happened the way it happened. And that does not predict of what's going to happen in the next situation. Your personalization is kind of taking the blame for something out of your control. Oh, I should have never asked her out. I should have known she had a boyfriend. Well, there's no way to tell sometimes. So you just talk to them. It goes back to, but make sure it's, be respectful when you ask somebody. And I think that will help a lot of people when they're being respectful, they're being assertive and not aggressive on the feedback they're getting and the rejection. And I know I talk to a lot of guys. A lot of times they'll label themselves. I'm not attractive enough. I'm not healthy. I'm not that fit guy, or I don't do this. I don't have that. I don't have a nice car. I don't have the right job. Or I'm still living at home trying to put myself through school. There's always things that people label themselves with. But instead of doing that, why don't you label think about your positive qualities? Because when you're saying, hey, I'm a great guy, I'm working hard, I'm trying to get ahead, and maybe I don't have a lot of these material things, I got a lot of other things going for me. And I'm trying to hopefully find somebody else that I can connect with that's going to respect that, and hopefully it's kind of maybe working towards the same thing. Because if you don't find that other person that respects what you're doing, you're not going to respect what they're doing. I know a lot of things are always based on physical. Oh, she's so hot, and and I understand that a lot of times. But truly, if you're trying to find a healthy relationship, that's not going to matter. It's going to really matter about, hey, this is who I am, and start labeling yourself in a positive way. Stop taking that the personalization of taking all the blame when you're rejected. You just put an offer out there. She says no. Okay. That's great. So how do you make rejection worse? Like we're just saying, it's your toxic negative thoughts that make it worse. Your false assumptions make it worse. When you correct your toxic thoughts and false assumptions, the majority of negative feelings can be avoided. I was kind of thinking about this. I'm like, well, what is rejection? Well, I can't remember. I mean, I've been rejected before. A lot of times it's always felt the same, but that's because of what I put on it in my own head. But rejection is really like a snowflake. You know, no two are alike, even though I just read a study that some snowflakes are alike. But anyways, I digress. So no two rejections are alike. So stop generalizing. Uh, this will stop you from asking another woman out because the one before said no. And I always hate the numbers game. You got to play the numbers game. Well, don't hit on every woman to see if I can get a date. You still want to, hopefully you're going to see somebody that may be interested in you. You're interested in them. And that goes back to being assertive. Don't be aggressive and just, oh, she's a woman. I'm going to hit on her. I'm going to ask her out. I'm going to ask her out. I'm going to ask that woman out. No. Have a little patience and make sure that when women and the rejections may sound the same, but they're not. Humans are always looking for the easiest way to reject somebody. If you've ever been somebody knocking on your door and trying to sell you something like, hey, we got the new security deal, or hey, we're selling everything from carpet cleaning or whatever, you're not looking in there to tell them, a nice 20-minute story about how you really like them, how there's some great people and you really respect what they're doing. And, but unfortunately at this time, you're not going to be able to, have them come into your home and clean your carpets because you got all wood floors. No, you may come to the door and just say, I got wood floors. Sorry. You're out the door. Think of it that way. The rejection will sound the same, maybe multiple times, but just in your own life. When somebody's trying to sell you something, or somebody's trying to get, when you're walking through the mall and those people all, oh, no, you just put up your hand and go past them. Those people see that 1,000 times a day, the same reaction. But it could be all different reasons why people aren't stopping and looking at their product. And that's exactly what will happen with women. If they're hopefully going to be respectful back to you, but they're going to be nice, keep it short, because it's awkward between two people. So you're not always going to go into great details why you rejected someone else. So think of that personally. And then when somebody rejects you, a lot of times they're not going to give you the full details. And some of it may be very honestly because maybe they're not attracted to you, which is fine. And maybe they think that you don't dress well, you don't have enough money. Well, that's not somebody you want to be with anyways. So just look at it as every rejection is different, but they may all sound the same, and it's not you. The requester's rejected, not you personally. They may have the boyfriend, fiance, different situations in their lives. They, may be visiting from another state. There's so many reasons as to why men get rejected when they ask a woman out, or they try to kind of, first communicate with a woman and they feel like they've been, rejected. So, and one thing I know from a guy's point of view, if you're out with your friends or friend, it's always, it is fun, to give your buddy a hard time and say, oh, look at that. She, you went up in flames, and it's hard to, tell your best friend, well, I'm psychologically, I'm really trying to work on this. And I get that. But in your head, you got to kind of stick with this stuff. Goes back to watching, the other videos LAS for Men's been talking about, how to get rid of the toxic thinking and clearing that up. And that's going to go a long way for you. Well, that's the end of this slide presentation. As I mentioned before, the reason we do PowerPoint, which I think is kind of like, PowerPoint, but I know some people are visual. Some people, can look at it better, maybe wherever they're at watching this. It's a little easier than just kind of listen to my voice and, what he's talking about. And maybe sometimes if I'm rambling on, that will give a little bit more focus to it. Hope you enjoyed this. Once again, please hit the like button below. Subscribe. We've got a lot of great stuff that we're going to continue to come out with. And for any more information, go to lifeadvisorservices.com. Look at our About section. You want to email us directly looking for some one-on-one help? We're here for you. All right. Have a great day.